kill team on our hands. We've got something special today. We've got a brand new kill zone. We've quickly hurried and painted up these trees, got the mats set out, desperate to play in a forest at some point, and now it's upon us. So what we've got is the Dark Angels investigating a Crone world that's been revealed after some of the warp storms have receded in the galaxy. So we went down to explore this ancient world, and of course the Eldar are right there to defend their lands. Although they've been slightly warped by the rift in the universe, the Eldar still will cling on to whatever they can. So as we're playing on this very special kill zone, we're going to use a special mission from the set as well. There's a match play mission, Fearless Foraging. So essentially what it is, it's this deployment, 2 triangles at either side, 6 inches from that little centre point there at the bottom, and there's 5 objectives on the board. So we've got one here, one there, one over there, one over there, and then one directly in the centre. And at the end of each battle round, the people or the models who control it, they roll a d6 on this chart for forage, and on there you can get various things. So there's a one where you take a wound if you roll a 1, 2's no effect, 3 is gain a command point, 4 to 5 is gain a victory point. So that's the way you can win the game, is by rolling a 4 to 5. That's going to get you that crucial point. On a 6 you gain 3 victory points, so that's what you want, rolling 6s. So we're foraging through the jungle here, looking for artifacts, things to tell us about this ancient Eldar race, and of course the Eldar are going to try and keep it for themselves. Okay, we've got the debut of my brand new painted Dark Angels Primaris contingent. So only enough for a kill team at the moment. We will expand on them for a full 40k game. For all they are my boys and namesake for the channel. So here they are, first representation. So we've got kill team Kalon, led by Sergeant Kalon. So he's the leader. He's got a power sword and he's got the bolt rifle. He's got his second in command. This is a Reaver Sergeant. He's called Renale, and he's a combat specialist. We've got a comms tactic guy here. He's got the auxiliary grenade launcher, so he's going to give himself a +1 to hit, or anyone within 6, +1 to hit for that comms tactic. That's his natural rule. And we've got a sniper. He's the one loading his weapon. So we'll probably give these all names in the future when we launch into campaigns, but since we're just going through missions and exploring the kill teams of different factions, we're not going to get in deep too much. And then we've got 2 plain intercessors just down the end. So all of them with bolt rifles, just so we can play them in 40k when the time comes. But it would have been nice to have some snipers and stuff, but hopefully we can get around to that in the future. So full Primaris Dark Angels.
Right, so here we've got the Asiani kill team, 100 points again, and it's led by a Dire Avenger Exarch, and he goes by the name of Talsar. We've got 2 Dire Avengers accompanying him, and we have a Sniper Ranger, and we have a comms guy who is a Black Guardian, and we have a Scout guy who's a Black Guardian. You can tell those because they haven't got helmets, and then we've got 6 of the Guardian Defenders.
So for this mission we've just painted up the brand new Death World, so we're really looking forward to using it, and we're going to use the kill zone Death World Forest rules. So what we do, it's before the scouting phase even begins, we're going to determine what kind of threat this forest is going to be. So we'll roll on this chart, we'll have a closer look to see what we get. So it's a 4, so it's terrifying sounds. So there's 6 to choose from, of course, on a d6. So terrifying sounds is you must add 1 to all nerve tests. So we'll have to remember that. But there's some really vicious rules on here. There's a one where even open ground is dangerous terrain, so you dare not even move, but there's a few other good ones as well. But we've got the nerve test one. We'll see how that goes. Okay, we've moved on to the scouting phase, and we've both selected number 5, which is take forward positions. So only one of us can do that, and it's going to be a roll-off. So what take forward positions is you can move a fighter after you've deployed, but before the moving phase, so you essentially get 1 free move for a portion of your kill team. So because both selected it, it's just a roll off. Just a roll off to see who gets it. Eldar win. They're going to get to advance or move at least 20% of their models in the first phase. Dark Angels try to keep theirs a secret, but the secret's out. Okay, Dark Angels deployment. and we've got the Reaver Sergeant at the front. He's going to lead the way for the team, and we've got the Sniper Specialist here. We've got a basic Bodge on the side here who's ready to go after the objective. Got the Leader Sergeant here with his power sword leading the way from the back, and we've got the Comm Specialist here, and then a regular guy there, so we're ready to go out for that objective. So the Reaver, hopefully he can get into the middle of the table, start to take objectives for himself as well, but you've got to be wary against these Eldar. Alright, for the Aeldari we've got split up into three, it looks like. So we've got a portion over here, we've got the Comm Specialist with the blonde hair and the long sensor coming off his back, and we've got the Sniper here, the Ranger. He's going to be something deadly in this game, we feel it already. And we've got two Guardians and a Dire Avenger there. We've got the Leader up front. He's with the Scout Specialist without the helmet. He's got the brown hair. And then the two Guardians there. Two more Guardians here with a Dire Avenger with them in support. So they're ready to go out for that objective. These are looking for this objective just over that ruin. And then of course it's the battle for the centre one. Okay, so we've completed the Scout phase. We knew what it was anyway. So this Guardian, he's advanced 11 inches all the way over to here, so he's got a good field of fire. And this Scout, he goes over there, he's got a really nice setup in the bark there just over the ruin and the objective, so he's going to fire some long shots. And then the Dire Avenger, he goes 11, he's gone through the woods here, around the back here, and he's set himself up right on the corner of the known battlefield. So he's got a decent field of fire for himself as well. Okay, so after we've set all that up, we're ready to go. We're going to see who gets the initiative for the first turn. So the Dark Angels get a 4, Eldari get a 7. So they will take that first turn. Eldari movement turn 1. Before the move, we've played a special stratagem for this kill zone. So we've played Tangle Undergrowth. So the Dark Angels played this. Costs 0 command points, that's right. It doesn't cost anything to do. It sort of represents that the jungle is alive and dynamic. So what this stratagem does is it halves movement. So the Eldar will try to slow them down through the jungle here, but they just rolled 6s for all their advanced moves. So it didn't slow them down too much, so this is what's happened. These two have moved or advanced around to here. The trick is with the Eldari, they can still advance and shoot assault weapons or anything that isn't a heavy weapon without any penalty. So advancing isn't really an issue for the Eldar, and that's what they've all pretty much done. So these two have gone around to claim this objective. This Guardian goes forward to the woods there. These two advance to this horrible tree. He goes ready. He's advanced behind this ruin here, and the Scout, the Danger Man here, he's gone ready as well, so he's going to pop up a shot before anyone else. These three, they've advanced around the side here, and this Dire Avenger, he's ready as well, because these, he was a crucial one that moved before the game even began, so he's set up in a good position and ready to fire. Alright, so easy movement for the Dark Angels. Remember, we're at half speed because of that stratagem that we played. It even worked on ourselves, unfortunately, but it might have been worth it. We'll have to see how this all pans out. So at the moment it feels like it was worth it. So these three Dark Angels, they step to the right here. So we've got him just controlling this objective. He steps forward for a bit of a better sight on things, and the Sergeant steps directly behind that Marine so he doesn't get his head shot off by the sniper, because now he's totally concealed because they are the same size. It's a bit of a difficult shot for the sniper anyway. I'm sure you'll be able to see someone, but it won't be the Sergeant. So tactics, hiding behind a meat shield for the Astartes. I'm not sure they teach that in the Codex. The Reaver, he just goes forward. Remember, at half speed, so only 3-inch movements for us. And these two stay still and ready up, so we're going to try and just pump some shots into the dense wood over there, shake the trees, see who falls out. Alright, Eldar are going to fire off their ready shooters first. So there's this Guardian here. He's going to shoot first because he is exposed to some of the Dark Angels, so he wants to make sure he gets his shots off. So who's he shooting? Is it this Reaver?
Yes.
In the bush here? Okay. So we're concealed and we're at over 6-inch range, so it's a -2 to hit. So hitting on 5, so 2 shots from the shuriken catapult. Gets 1, needs a 4 to wound. 6s are devastating. Gets a wound, right, so it's not a devastating hit, but we need to save that on a 3, which we do, so Reaver's okay. So the Dark Angel's next to shoot. Right, Dark Angels, the sniper, he's going to fire his gun off, so he's going to shoot through this undergrowth here at this Guardian, because he's in close range to the Reaver. If we can take him out, that'll stop the Reaver coming under any more pressure. And to help him out, we're using a command point. We're going to pick careful aim, gives us a +1 to hit. So we are in close range, so it gets us right back to our ballistic skill of 3. And because he's a sniper, we're re-rolling 1s. Okay, re-roll. So double hit, we're needing 3s to wound, because he's just a feeble pansy Eldar. And we only get 1 wound. It's AP -1, you need a 6 to save. Doesn't get it, 3 goes through, so on a 5 he'll go out of action because he is concealed. To 1, it's just a flesh wound. Do we use a command point to re-roll that? I think so. We're gonna hope for a 5. It's crucial stuff. Yes, we take him out of action with a re-roll, so we're out of command points, but that was definitely worth it. Okay, Eldar to shoot now. We're going to have this Dire Avenger. He's going to shoot at the comms specialist Primaris Marine here. So he is at long range. The Dire Avengers have a slightly longer range with the Avenger catapult, but still not within that 9-inch range. So he's at long range and concealed, hitting on 5s. 2 shots. Just flashed a 6, but denied at the last minute, right? So it's back over to the Dark Angels. We've only got 1 ready to fire to shoot left here, so that's just this guy. He's going to plough some shots into the undergrowth there and just see a Guardian. He is concealed, so we're hitting on 4s. At close range, we've went everywhere. We've got 1 hit. Right, wound on a 3, do it over here. Doesn't do it, right, our Guardian gets away. Right, back over to the Eldar, we've got this Ranger deep in his nest there. He's going to shoot through this open ground here at the Dark Angel sniper, so you can see him all the way through that gap in the woods. And he's going to use the comm specialist to bump his ballistic skill up by 1. So he's, or the dice roll by 1. So he's going to hit on 2s, reroll 1s, because Ranger long rifles don't have a long range. They don't suffer the effects. So hitting on 2s, rerolling 1s against the Dark Angels main man here. Gets a hit. Needs a wound on a 4. If it's another 6, it's terrible. It doesn't wound. He does have command points, so he's going to use 1. Try and get that crucial 4. To 3, still does not stand. Just bounces off. Okay, basic shooters to shoot now. We've got this Eldar guy. He's behind this ruin. You can barely see him. He's just peeking out. He's going to have a go at the Reaver. So he's at long range and concealed, so 5s again to try and hit with. Gets 1, needs a 4 to wound. Doesn't wound. Right, back over to the Dark Angels. We're going to fire our comm specialist here. We're going to fire him at this Dire Avenger. And we will be using our comm special tactic on ourselves, I think. Yep, that's what we'll do. We're going to use it on ourselves, so we're +1 to hit because he is concealed. So we're back to our basic ballistic skill again. And do we use a frag grenade, or do we just use the rounds to AP -1? I think what we'll do is we'll just fire a crack grenade at him. Because it's multiple damage, we've got a better chance of actually just taking him out clean. So we're hitting on a 3. We do get a hit, just. It's strength 6, wound on a 2. We do get a wound, it's AP -2, you need a save of a 6 for that Dire Avenger. Doesn't get it, this could just blow him out of his tree here. So it's D3 damage, it's the full 3, so we get 3 dice of damage against him, and we'll pick the highest. So a 5 or a 6 will do it, and blow him straight out of his tree, and he's been knocked out of the game. 2 crucial guys going down there for the Eldar. Okay, the Eldar getting slightly worried, losing 2 guys early. The Dire Avenger Exarch, he's going to fire his pistol into the Reaver. He's the only guy you can get, so he's got a pistol, he's hitting on 5, so he's at long range and concealed. Gets a hit in a 6, needs a 4, gets the wound. Right, so we need to save on a 3. We don't do it, so he's taking a wound. Okay, so there's the Reaver, he's taking his wound, so we use white dice for wounds, red dice for flesh wounds, so we'll count how many wounds they've taken. So we're taking 1, another 1, and he's looking dangerous. Right, so it's back over to the Dark Angels to shoot. We're going to have this guy, the front 3 here, front of the 3. He's in close range to that Guardian, and that Guardian is out in the open. So we're going to try and shoot him in the head with a bolt rifle. Here we go, 3s to hit, because we're close range and no cover in the way. So 2 go through, 3s to wound, Wound once, he needs to save on a 6. Gets a 5, not good enough. So on a 4+, he's going out of action because he's got no cover to try and absorb that. It's just a 1, so it's just a flesh wound. Can't re-roll it. Ran out of command points a long time ago. Right, so it's back over to the Eldar. Alright, Eldar, there's Guardian on the wing there. He's going to try and fire at the Reaver. He's seen the blood splatter across the tree. He's going to try and finish him off. 5s to hit. Doesn't hit any. Alright, back over to the Dark Angels. There's one guy to shoot. Oh, there's 2 guys to shoot. We can fire off with the Reaver or the Sergeant. We'll have to see what's on offer. Right, back over to the Dark Angels. The Sergeant, he can draw the same clean line of sight onto that Guardian in the opening. You can just see through the trees. It's a hell of a shot. He's got the opening. And again, we're in close range, so 3s to hit. And he's missed anyway. Peering through the woods and forgot to load his gun. Right, Eldar. There's a Dire Avenger in the woods there. He's at long range. He's going to fire at the Sniper Specialist here. So 5s to hit at long range and concealed. Both miss. So a bad spell of hitting for both sides here. There must be a mist lifting off the ground, blocking all the lines of sight. There's only one thing to shoot for the Dark Angels now. It's the Reaver. He's going to have a go at the Dire Avenger Exarch there. So he's got a bolt pistol. It's a heavy bolt pistol, in fact. I'm just going to check the range. So I think it is only 12. Heavy bolt pistol. It is only 12, so it's double range and we are concealed. So we're going to need a 5 to hit. We do get a hit. He's accurate with it. So needing a 3 to wound. We do wound. So it's AP -1. I think you've got an invulnerable 4 save as an Exarch, so see what you roll. 2. He hasn't got an invulnerable 2 save, so he's taking a wound.
Well, command point reroll.
Got a command point reroll. See what he gets. It's a 3. He hasn't got an invulnerable 3 save either, so here we go. On a 5+, he goes out of action. Has he got 2 wounds? Because Exarchs sometimes have 2 wounds.
Yeah.
He's got 2 wounds, right, so he's not going to go out of action, he's just taken a wound. Bolt pistol just takes off a portion of his helm. Okay, so there's the Dire Avenger Exarch with a wound. Just for future reference, he has an invulnerable 4 save for Battle Fortune. So that is all shooting. There's a couple of more Guardians in the woods over there, but they're out of range, so they won't be able to contribute. So now it is time for rolls to see what we get for objectives. So since it was your turn, we'll roll for you first. So we've got an objective here and an objective there for them. So this objective, going to roll a d6, see what we get on the forage table. So you really don't want a 1. He gets a 4. That's it's edible. So gain 1 victory point. So getting a victory point for that. And this one here with the sniper on it, it's a 1. That is bad. That is so bad. That is a mortal wound for him. So it's you to roll for, because it's a self-inflicted mortal wound. So on a 4+, he goes out of action. It's a 1. He's taking a flesh wound. That is a lucky escape, as that one's edible, but this one bites back clearly. Okay, so we've got 1 for the Dark Angels. Let's see what they get. It's a 5. That is, it's edible, which is the same one as the Eldar, so it's gained 1 victory point. So we've both got a victory point out of that, but the Eldar lost a chunk out of that sniper's arm as something from the woods, and he took his arm off. So he's taking a flesh wound. That's pretty significant for a sniper, because that means he's at -1 to hit now, so bad show for him. Right, it's time for nerve tests for the Eldar, because there's no flesh wounds taken on the Dark Angel side, but there's 2 outstanding flesh wounds on the Eldar. So we've got 1 over here. They've lost 2 so far, the Eldar, and they've got a +1 to the dice roll for the Kill Zone Deathworld Forest environment table for terrifying sounds. So effectively, we're just going to count it as they've lost 2 models plus an extra 1 because of the rule. So it's down by 3, but he's got 1 support. So after all the maths, he doesn't want to see a 6. That's what it's all about. He does not want a 6. He gets a 6. Nerve test comes into play. So we didn't know if that terrifying sounds rule was going to come into play, but it rears its head already. So he hears some strange sounds in the woods and he's scared stiff. This ranger, he's took a flesh wound as well, but he's got support of 2 guardians, so even if he rolled a 6, he would still pass. So it's just that guardian there. He's going to stand there with his knees knocking. Okay, we're moving into turn 2 here. We're going to see who takes the initiative. So Dark Angels get a 8, so do the Eldar. So we'll roll again. Dark Angels get a 6, Eldar get a 4. So Dark Angels on the ascendancy. Right, Dark Angels, well, some people are starting to move, because what happened was at the start of the movement phase, the Eldar decided to play this special stratagem. It's no command points, it's a special one for the Death World. Shard Rack Spines, which are those. So we've got them here, and in the corner there for the Eldar. What it means is that all of a sudden they become dangerous terrain. So if you're within an inch of them and you decide to move, then on a 1 you take a mortal wound. So only chance to, with one guy going out to get that objective. Luckily we didn't roll a 1, but the Eldar have got some over there, so they don't want to kill themselves with that stratagem in play. So basically, our forced our hand. We didn't want to take the risk at this stage and cause some mortal wounds on ourselves, so we just went ready with the 4 guys at the back. And the Reaver, Sergeant, he's going to try and charge the Exarch leader. So we're going to charge him at 9 inches distance, so we're going to need an 8 on the dice, but as a reaction he's going to choose to drop back 3. So he's going to drop back and add 3 inches to our charge. So we're going to see what we get. 5's not good enough, we're not going to re-roll that, but the Exarch will fall back. So there he goes, the Exarch's been forced back, and we are not going to take our movement there. We're just going to choose to stand still and not emerge out of that deep cover. Right, the pressure's on for the Eldari. They feel like they need to push forward, get some objectives, because they're slowly dwindling, and they're getting right in the face of the Astartes, trying to get those shooting catapults working. So 2 Guardians, they've advanced up to contest this objective. If all stalemates, they're going to take that objective, but they're in the firing line now. But what they've done is they've presented a lot of targets for themselves, pushed up with the Guardians at the back here. So we've got 1 here, he advanced, 1 here, he advanced, there's 1 here, he advances, 1 behind the shrine, and he advanced as well. So they're taking that central objective as well. There's only 1 ready shooter, and that's the where is he, the blue guy at the back, the Dire Avenger. He's taking that objective, so they're trying to get on the objectives here. And then the 2 in the middle there, they can't do anything, because the Exarch, he dropped back from a charge, and the Guardian in the centre, he was shaken. And of course the sniper in the trees there, he goes ready as well. So it's under the shooting phase. The Dark Angels, though, they do have priority. Dark Angels, priority shooters. We're going to fire with the comms tactic with the grenade launcher. He's going to shoot at this guy. He's going to trigger himself for his comms special ability to +1 to hit. So at this range we're hitting on 3s, and we're using the solid shot, the crack grenade from the underslung. So he has hit, needs a 2 to wound. Okay, he has wounded. There's no save because it's AP -2, so it just blows straight through his armour, and then the damage is 2. So he is in cover, so on a 5 or a 6 he goes down here. We'll pick the best of 2. The best of 2, a 5 will do it. He's been taken out of there by that crack grenade, just claiming lives in that portion of the jungle there. Right, priority shooters for the Eldar. We've got the Dire Avenger in the bush shrubbery over there. He's going to shoot at this guy. 5's to hit at long range and conceal. There's 2 shots from his shooting catapult. He gets 2 hits. Right, he's been building up to that. 4's to wound. The 6 is what he wants. That's a Blade Storm hit. So it's AP -3, so we're needing a 6 to save. We don't get it, so we've taken a wound there. Dark Angels are going to shoot our sniper. We're thinking about shooting him down at the sniper in his nest there, but he's already taken a flesh wound. What we need to do is we need to help out this guy over here. Or do we use the sniper tactic? +1 to hit. We'll be hitting on 4s at that range. No, we're going to stick with the plan. We're going to shoot at this Guardian here. We would normally split up shots because they're in close proximity, but they're stacked up on one another, so we can't actually see the guy at the back there. So just 2 shots at the nearest Guardian. So 3's to hit at this range, and we're re-rolling 1s, but when you get 1, he needs a 3 to wound. We do wound him, so a 6 to save for his armour. Doesn't get it. He's in the open, so on a 4+, he's out of action. It's a 1, it's a flesh wound. Do we want to re-roll that? I think so. We're going to command point re-roll it. Try and get him out of there. No, it's another 1, right, so we've spent 1 command point to do that. We've got 1 left for this turn. Eldar to fire, Eldari. The Ranger is actually going to go and try and blow this this Reaver's head off. So he is concealed. So he's at a -1 to hit, but that's it. Actually, no, he's taking a flesh wound, so he's at -2 to hit.
-2 to hit, plus sniper targeting.
Okay, he's playing careful aim for 1 command point. It's going to give him a +1. So he's hitting on 4s, rerolling 1s against that Reaver. Feels like he's the danger man. So gets a hit. Right, needs a 4. A 6 would be the answer. He does get a 4, so it's a straight armor save for the Reaver. He's filled it. Do we use command point to reroll? Yes, we do. We're going to reroll, try and get a 3. Last command point to do that on. He's passed, right, so he's okay, the Reaver. He survived, but we've blown out command points again in quick succession. Okay, so there's no more priority shooters for the Eldar, so I'm just going to finish off all the Dark Angel ones. So this guy, he's going to be shooting at this Guardian. He's a comms specialist, so he's not just any Guardian, so if we can take him out, that'll be special stuff. So hitting on 4s because he's behind the log. Don't get it, he misses. Sergeant now, it's the last one for priority shooting, and we will target... well, that wasn't any good. I think we're going to go for this injured Guardian here. He is obscured by this bit of wood here, so we'll be hitting on 4s. Get double hit, right, 3s to wound. We get only 1 wound, so he's saving on a 6. Oh, that was, that was a 5. So he has, he's not within an inch of cover, even if he was concealed for the initial shot, so he's not going to get a +1 or a -1 to the dice roll for injury roll, but we will get a +1 because he's already taken a wound. So on a 3+ he goes out of action. He's out of action on a mega 6. So the Eldar's starting to drop now. This could be deadly for them. Right, a success so far for the Astartes, and we're going to try and keep that train rolling. We're going to have this guy. He's a non-priority shooter, but he's the first one to shoot. So he's going to go after the Guardian. That's right in his face here. Hitting on 3s at that close range. We get 2 hits, 3s to wound. We get double 6. Right, he needs a double 6 to save. That's AP -1. He tries hard. 1 goes through though. 1 slips through that carefully crafted armor, and a 4+ he's going out of action. It's a 3. It's just a flesh wound. We can't re-roll that. This could be the difference of life and death for that guy, and over the struggle for this barrel, this objective here. Alright, so we've got, it's over to the Eldar now. Fired everyone from the Dark Angels. He tried to charge, so he can't shoot. So it's just over to the Eldar for their non-priority shooters. So there's the comm specialist here. He's going to have a go at the Reaver. He is concealed, but is he going to trigger himself for a +1 to hit with his natural ability? I think that's the best option. So he'll be hitting on 3s because he is within close range. This could be the end of the Reaver. So 3s to hit. Gets them both. Needs 4s to wound. And doesn't get any.
Command reroll 1.
Okay, desperate times. He does get it, and it's an all-important 6. So we need to save on a 6 because of that Blade Storm hit. We don't get it, so on a 5+, he goes out of action because I am within an inch of that cover. It is that crucial 5. That's the first casualty for the Dark Angels, and that's a load off because he's a ferocious close combatant. And that's the first casualty. So on to the next Eldar shooter. This guy.
Yeah.
Who's he going for?
Go and shoot the sergeant.
Yeah, he's available. So he's. Let's check the range here. Because he might just be over 6. He is over 6. So you're hitting on 5s against the sergeant.
Oh, right.
Against the nearest guy, he's over 6 as well, just. So it's 5s all around in that shooting gallery. So on the Sarge, might as well. 1 hit, needs a 4 to wound. Once that's 6 though. It's a 5. Does wound, we get a save on a 3. Do save, right. There's one more guy to fight, and he's behind the icon. And he's going to have to go for this guy because he can't see the sergeant. So he gets 1 hit at that range. And needs a 4. But once that's 6. Gets a 5, that's good enough to wound. Let's see if the armor holds up. No. It's a wound for the lead Primaris guy. So there's just one more Guardian to shoot, and this is possibly the most crucial one, and it's this guy. He's going to fire back over, wrestling over this objective. He's taking a flesh wound, so he's at -1 to hit, so 4's at close range there. He gets them both. He needs 4's to wound, 6's will be devastating. And it is devastating, double 6, I just knew there was something in the air there. I need a double 6. Or at least once. Oh! Yes, the struggle for that objective continues. Alright, so it's time for nerve tests, and this is pretty crucial now for the Eldar. With the terrifying sounds, Killzone, Deathwell Forest extra rule in play with a +1 to your nerve test, they lost 4 models, so they're down by 5 essentially on the leadership. So he is going to pass on a 2. This is crucial. If he doesn't get it, he's going to fail on that objective. He rolls a 1 and passes. So this is contested. If he failed that, if he fails a nerve test and you're shaken, then that means you can't contest objectives. So that's a bit of an epic fight going on there. This guy, he's got Sergeant in support, so he needs a 3 and he'll be back in action. Doesn't get it. Does not get it, so he's still shaken. The Sniper in the woods, he's now got no support. He needs a 2 to stay active, and he does get it right. That's some good low rolling.
Good rolling low.
Right, it's the end of the battle round. It's time to take stock of what points we've got. So it's 1 each so far. Let's see if any more turn up. So this one is contested because of the ferocious fighting going on over there. This one isn't for the Dark Angels, so we've only got 1. Let's roll on the chart and see what we get. A 6, that is good. That is the hidden cache. And that's gained 3 victory points. So we've moved up in the world big time there. We've got 4 victory points for the game so far. If we get another one of those, that'll be sweet. The Eldar, they've got 3 objectives to roll for. So starting with the one in the middle, let's see what they get. It is a 2. Lucky it wasn't a 1, but a 2 is no effect, so nothing for that one. The Sniper one, if he gets another 1, he does, that's a mortal wound. So you're going to have to roll for it. On a, he's taking a flesh wound as well, so on a 3+ he goes out of action. It's a 3, he's out of action. Do you want to command point reroll that?
No.
No, the Sniper goes down. He's finally chomped by whatever's lurking in those woods. That is devastating. They're getting all of the objectives, but the objectives do not love the Eldar here. And then they've got 1 more here. He probably doesn't even want to roll for it at this point. It's a 1. Right, so whatever malevolent, malefic entity lurks in these woods certainly doesn't like the Eldar. So on a 4+, he will go out of action. It's a 1, he takes a flesh wound. Wow. Right, moving straight into turn 3. Let's see who's going to take the initiative this time. Dark Angels get a whopping double 6. And it's a 7. A respectable 7, but double 6, can't argue with that. So Dark Angels will once again lead the way. Okay, so at the start of the movement phase, once again, the vicious spines come alive. So these Shardrak spines, if we move within an inch of them, we would have to take tests, dangerous terrain tests. Because we're in the ascendancy for victory points anyway, we've got 4 to the Eldar's 1. We don't really need to go out there and get these objectives if we don't have to. And since we've already taken a wound here and there, we don't want a chance losing guys just over silly moves. So because we're in the woods, we're going to camp. So 3 guys go ready here. This guy goes ready, and he goes ready. He's going to force the hand of this Guardian to either charge him, or maybe he'll go ready for another shoot out at close range. But that's pretty much all we can do at this point. Just go ready. Hopefully we can host down these Eldar at long range, because that's about all we can do. Alright, Aeldari on the move. So the Exarch from the back, he's advanced all the way up behind this ruin here. He's taking this objective, and this guy who was looking after this objective, he's moved around to try and contest this one, because we've only got 1 Dark Angel on it. He took the test for the Shardrak spine and passed. So he's trying to be sneaky on that one. The comms specialist, he moves back to that objective in the distance. There's no point of trying to claim any more lives. He's just going to try and pull away on the objective somehow. And then this Guardian comes from out of that bush there, and advances over here. So you will be able to shoot still, because of course Eldar have that rule. But this Guardian, he's going to try and charge this Intercessor, because he is on readied. So if he can charge him and survive the Overwatch, that's going to negate his guns, which are more severe than his close combat attacks. So we're going to Overwatch, see if we can get him on some 6s and catch him coming in. We'll get 1-6, that's a good start. Needs a 3. Doesn't do it, we're going to command point reroll, because we definitely want to kill him in Overwatch, that'll be cool. Oh, don't get him. It's embarrassing. Right, so he'll go in, there's no way he can fill that charge. So in he goes. That is embarrassing. Okay, so there's no priority shooters for the Eldar, so it's just going to be the Dark Angels take over for all the shooting phase, because everyone's ready. So we'll start here. We're going to have the grenade launcher guy. He's going to fire a solid shot. Again, he's been doing well with his crack grenade. Underslung launcher at this Guardian. So he's a comm specialist, so we're going to be a +1 to hit, so we're back to our 3 to hit, because he's slightly obscured. 3's to hit, we get a hit. 2's to wound, we do wound, and no save, but it's AP -2. So the damage is 2. So roll 2 dice, pick the best. So because he is concealed, again 5s are going to need it to take him out of action. It's just a flesh wound, that's all we can do. Yeah, so he's still alive. Right, so he's shot. We're going to have this guy now, he's going to shoot at him. So we need to take him off the objective. So a close range, but he is concealed. So 4s, we've missed. It's bad news. We'll go over here now. The Sergeant, he will fire at this Guardian here, because we can't see this guy because there's 2 Dark Angels in the way. So we're going to fire across here, hitting on 4s for that Guardian, see if we can take him out of there. We've missed again. He's missed every shot so far, this Sergeant. It's terrible news. So the reason why I did that is because if we took out him, we would fire him over to that guy. But I feel that we need to shoot him. So we're going to, the sniper, he's going to shoot him. And hitting on 3s, rerolling 1s. So this is a terrible round for the Dark Angels. And he's missed both shots. This is terrible. Not a single soul destroyed there. So it's over to the Eldar for shooting. That was woeful. Alright, so the Dark Angels may pay for that woeful round. This guy is taking a flesh wound, and it will conceal with this guy, so it's 5s to hit, 2 dice. Right, he misses, so luckily the trend, the mist that we were talking about earlier must be kicking up again, where nobody can get a hit. The Exarch, he is within 6 of him, so no, that is close range with the pistol. So he's at a -1, so he's hitting on a 4, because I'm concealed.
Actually, yeah.
Or do you want to go for a long range shot at the Sergeant?
No, we'll fire the
Okay, because he has got a wound already, so doesn't get it after a long debate. It's irrelevant. Alright, over here, this is another important moment. He is going to shoot at him, I suppose. So he's needing 4s to hit, because I am concealed behind the spine.
Yeah, I think first off we'll do this guy here, because
Alright,
he's gone to the line
secretly in the bush. So he's got 2 shots, he does hit with 1, and misses with the other. So needs a 4, gets a 1, no good.
Command reroll that one.
Okay, command reroll. It's a 5, it does wound, right, so we're needing 3 to save. We get it, right. So it is that Guardian to fire. 2 shots, hitting on 4s because we are concealed, and he gets 1. Needs a 4 to wound. You can't command point reroll anymore in the shooting phase.
So
He does get it, right. Needing a 3 to save. We've already taken a wound, so we don't want to fail this. And we do anyway. Okay, so we've already command point reroll in the shooting phase because we did it for the Overwatch, but we haven't used the command point in the shooting phase. So we'll use our last command point to reroll that because we don't want to lose him. We save on a 3, so he is still in the game. Okay, so that was a pitiful shooting phase for both sides. Now it's time for this furious combat over here. These two just mortal enemies. Guardian fights first. He's got 1 attack, hits on 3s. Does get a hit, needs a 5. Could he humble a Primaris Marine? Gets a wound. He's vicious, this Guardian. And he does wound. Can't re-roll this. So he's taking his first wound, that Primaris Marine. Truly embarrassing. If the Dark Angels survive this, you'll never hear the end of it. But he will attack back, see if he can kill him. 3 to hit, we get 1 hit, 3s to wound. He doesn't wound, right? This is never going to end for this guy. Okay, so we've got the nerve test to do now. So the Eldar, knowing that it's going to be a tough round for them here, they've played level 1 comms tactics. So this is rousing transmission. So for everyone on the board, you can subtract 1 from nerve test. So that's going to negate the mission rule. So the Eldar lost 5, and ultimately it's going to end up like this. This guy needs a 3 because he's got 1 guy in support to hang in there. Okay, so he passed on a 2. The Dire Avenger in the woods, he needs a 2 to stay
2 or a 1.
Active. 2 or a 1. Right, so he is shaken. And this guy, time for him. He needs a 2 also. He's shaken still. He's just been stood still, transfixed by the big carnivorous plant in front of him. This guy, he needs a 2 or a 1 to stay around. He gets it as well. The Eldar have been rolling well on the nerve test. It's been keeping them in the action and in the fight at crucial times. So this is contested because he doesn't go stunned, and this is in Eldar's hands because he doesn't go stunned. So that's frustrating stuff for the Dark Angels. So they're going to have to roll on the table then. So that is the end of that round. No force will be broken just yet. So the Eldar claim that one. So roll on the chart. It's a 2, nothing of note. Dire Avenger in the backfield. He needs to roll. Him there.
Oh, this one.
Yep. Off you go.
He's
so
actually
roll.
pinned.
Oh, he's pinned. Alright, so he doesn't claim that one. Okay, I nearly forgot about that. Good reminding. So the Exarch there, he has a roll. And he gets a 6, that's 3 command points. That's put them level pegging with the Dark Angels now. It's exactly what he needed. It's been bad luck on the victory point rolls for them. They've been doing well in other areas. So that's finally balanced the game out. So they've got 4 points apiece now. This one is contested. So there's this one at the back here. It's the same one that's been rolling wounds all game. So that Guardian takes a mortal wound, so on a 4+, he goes out of action and gets chomped by whatever is chomping the Eldar. He does go out of action. That is really bad. Okay, so it's level pegging now, it's 4 points each. I think this plant might have ate more Eldar than the Dark Angels have killed
3
so far. It's 3 casualties in that bush. Okay, we're into turn 4 now. We're going to see who takes the initiative. And it was looking good for the Dark Angels, were looking fairly comfortable, and then they had a blunderous turn, and then the Eldar right back into the fight, even if a tree did claim another life. Tasty Eldar. So here we go, who's going to take the initiative in turn 4? So the Dark Angels get a 7, Snake Eyes for the Eldari. So Dark Angels to go first. Right, Dark Angels moving. So again, the Eldar side decided to be in cahoots with the woods and have played this card again. So the Shardrak Spines, a dangerous terrain again. We've only moved 1 guy so far, the Sergeant. He charged this Guardian, so he couldn't overwatch because we're actually obscured, so he couldn't see him, and he's ran around the side there. We didn't take any damage in the dangerous terrain. It's worth mentioning, as a retort, the Dark Angels did get in league with that piece of terrain, and that's now dangerous as well. So if this Exarch moves, he's going to have to take a dangerous terrain test. So only the Sergeants moved. These 2 go ready. This guy, he plans on charging this Guardian here. He needs a 4 on the dice to get in, but not before the Guardian overwatches.
Well, you got dangerous terrain as well.
And a dangerous terrain test to make. So he's got his overwatch and a double 6 he's going to need.
Oh, do you not do the dangerous terrain?
I haven't moved yet, so let's say I roll double 1, I'll not move.
Alright.
So it's a miss from the overwatch, and now we'll take a dangerous terrain test because we're going to move out of it. Don't want to see a 1, nope, we're okay, and then he needs a 4 on the dice, which we get in a big way. So he moves in, it's already taken the wound, which is a sad scene, but it's now over to the Eldar to counter with their moves. He's locked up, these 2 are locked up, so it's just the backfield players. He's stunned, he can't move, so it's basically the Exarch. Okay, quick decision from the Exarch. He decides to go ready, so he can shoot. So Dark Angels have the priority, so they will shoot first. So we're going to shoot the grenade launcher first. He's going to fire into the Exarch. Solid shot. We use our comms tactics to boost them up by 1, and that means we're hitting on a 3, so it's close range. So we do hit. Wounds on a 2. This has been okay. I spoke too soon. Use the last command point to reroll that, because all we need is a 2. If we can take the Exarch out, that's pretty good. Right, so we've hurt him. He's got an invulnerable force save, so this might just keep him alive. And he does just deflect that grenade. Right, so he's going to fire back the Exarch, because he is the only one triggered. He's going to shoot at this guy, who's the closest. Needs a 4 because I'm concealed, and he misses anyway. Alright, so we've got this guy to shoot. I think what we'll do is we're going to shoot that Guardian, who's been stunned for 3 turns in a row. He is in the open, he's got a flesh wound, we've got a good chance of taking him out. If we do take him out, it's going to force break tests for the Eldar. So we're going to do that. We're not going to chance it with the Exarch. So you've got 2 shots, we're at short range, we get 1 hit. We need a 3 to wound. We do wound, he needs to save on a 6. Doesn't get it. Right, so because he's already taken a flesh wound, the guy at the back there, he goes out of action on a 3+. It's a 6, right, he's definitely gone, and that will force a break test when the time comes. Lost a lot of guys now, the Eldar, and that is all the shooting for this turn. So it's into combat. Dark Angels have the priority, so we're going to shoot. We're going to attack with this guy first, because we don't want to have him die. Okay, hold the phone. We're not going to fight with the Dark Angel just yet. The Eldar have played, or Eldari, as it's called these days, have played Decisive Strike for 2 command points. They're going to fight with this guy first. He's got a wound, so there's a chance that he could take him out. And the way things have been going on this side of the forest, could well happen. So he needs a 3 to hit. He's got 1 dice to try and do this with, and he's missed. So big
command reroll.
Okay, last command point to try and make this count. Might as well. It's a 2. He's missed again. Alright, so with that we'll fight all the Dark Angels in a row, because the Eldar can't counter, because he's charged, so he will have a priority fight. So he's got 2 attacks. He's hit once, needs a 3. Gets him, needs to save on a 5. And he doesn't make it on a 4+, he goes out of action. Yes, he's out of action. Gets consumed into the fauna on the floor. We've got the Sergeant, he did charge, so he will fight first. He's got 3 attacks with a power sword. Let's see if he knows how to use it. He's got 2 hits, needs 3s. Gets 2 wounds, so carves straight through his armour. On a 4+, on a 3+, because he's already taken a flesh wound, he goes out of action also. No, he doesn't. We've got no command points to reroll. That's his 2nd flesh wound. So he's stubborn. Okay, so that's all of the charged fighters fought, so it's time for the non-priority fighters. And because the Dark Angels have the initiative, it's going to be this guy to fight first against the Guardian. So 2 attacks. Can we finally finish this guy off? No, we've missed. His lenses are fogged up, that's all we can say. Guardian attacks back, he's hit. He does wound. If he kills this intercessor, then he's earned it. So on a 3+, yep, it's a 5. He survives and saves the embarrassment of the chapter. Alright, so that's the end of the fight phase, so it is time for morale phase. So the Eldar could be broken here. They've lost 8 Eldari, and leadership highest on the board is 8 from the Exarch, so they're going to pass the leadership test on an 8. If not, then they've all got a chance to become shaken here, as they failed a nerve test on a 9. So they're broken. Everyone has to take a nerve test now, so it's 1s all around because they've lost 8, and because the mission rule will take them to -9. So a 1 for him. He passes. Unbelievable. This guy needs a 1. The Exarch has failed, so he's shaken. He will not claim that objective. This guy, he fails as well. And then there's an Exarch over there. Not an Exarch, he's just a Dire Avenger. He fails on a 3. So everyone but this Guardian's shaken, and it doesn't matter anyway, because the Dark Angels have claimed this objective anyway. So the Aeldari are a broken force now. Right, so now that we've got nerve tests all squared up, we need to check for your objective. So we do control this one, even if this Guardian did pass his nerve test, because we've got more models on that objective. So we're rolling the chart on a 4. That is 1 victory point. So we've pulled ahead by 1 point so far. We do claim this one for the same reasons. This will outnumber that Guardian on that objective. So it's a 1. It's mortal wounds all around. Oh dear. Right. So the Sergeant on a 4+, he goes... no, he just takes a wound, because he hasn't got a wound, he hasn't got a wound. So they're both taking a wound, they're not going to go out of action. So it's not changed much over there, but that was scary times. Okay, I've just reread it. It's randomly determine a model in 2. So the 2 of them wouldn't take a wound, as the plan takes a chomp out of them both. Just selects one target and takes a chomp. So 1, 2, 3, it's this guy. 4, 5, 6, it's the Sergeant. It's the Sergeant gets a chomping, so he takes a wound. Okay, so at the end of turn 4, we're going to have to see if the game continues. We're not sure where the Eldari can go from here, but we're going to have to find out. So on a 3+, it'll continue. It's a 2, so the game ends, possibly at a merciful point there. It's not going to make the Eldar too bad. It's a 5-4 victory to the Dark Angels. Very close at the end there. They lost a lot of models to the woods in the background, but that's what happens when you fight in some sort of tainted woodland.